Good morning, everybody. Dear friends, ladies and gentlemen, it is my pleasure to welcome you to today's investment forum. As I mentioned yesterday during my welcome remarks, there is huge opportunity for business cooperation and trade across this entire Silk Road. And in fact, business will be the primary driver of the revitalization of the Silk Road. You will build the necessary bridges between countries and create a strong foundation for lasting peaceful cooperation. Businessmen and women are the true pioneers, as we say. And we politicians usually just follow your lead. Now is the time to focus that pioneering spirit on the Silk Road. On behalf of the government officials here, my pledge is that we will do everything we can to make your investments a success and support you. Yesterday, we focused primarily on what can be done and to promote cooperation across the entire Silk Road. Today, the primary focus is on Georgia's role as a hub of Silk Road trade. My government's goal is to build Georgia into a prosperous country, as I said yesterday, that leverages its geographic location as a vital crossroads connecting east and west and north and south. And this has been Georgia's role in the world, in our history, a regional hub and center for commercial exchange. As Europe's easternmost entry point to Asia by both land and sea, we are perfectly placed to bring Asia and Europe closer together. Today you will hear from top Georgian government officials and leading businesses about the commercial opportunities available to you in our country, and of course throughout the region. I hope all of you will take the time to discuss how you can cooperate commercially with one another. I also want to urge you once again to take part in the various B2B activities that our Ministry of Economy has worked hard to set up. And I also want to extend a warm welcome to all of our panelists and speakers today. I would also like to extend a special thanks to the special representative of the Chinese government to this forum, Mr. Shukrat Zakir, Governor of Xinjiang Uyghur Autonomous Region of People's Republic of China. Please greet him. As China's westernmost entry point to Central Asia and Europe, Xinjiang is a natural partner for our country in forging deep trade links between Europe and Asia. And I'm really honored by your presence, and I want to thank you for your government's commitment to this forum. We have over 500 participants from China here, and their presence demonstrates how seriously China takes the development of the Silk Road and how much Georgia has to offer. Now let me paint you a picture of Georgia, Georgia's economic potential in the most direct way possible. We are a small but very strategically located country of nearly 4 million with enormous economic potential. We believe in a free, open, and transparent business environment. According to the World Bank, we are one of the easiest countries in the world to do business in. We're number 15. We have the 4th lowest tax burdens in the world. We are a democracy, and we have eradicated corruption at every level. Over the last 5 years, we have attracted billions in FDI. In fact, we are currently experiencing unprecedented growth of foreign direct investment into Georgia. And total FDI reached 1.75 billion in 2014, and this is not only an 87% increase compared to 2013, but also the highest yearly indicator in the last 7 years. With the goal of providing greater support to new market entrants, 2 multi-billion investment funds have been established. One is the Partnership Fund and the Georgian Co-Investment Fund. The Partnership Fund provides state funds to selected projects and is open to discussing strategic forms of public-private partnership. And this co-investment fund draws its funds from private equity and includes private shareholders. We have universal healthcare and a strong education system, meaning a healthy and intelligent workforce. The major credit rating agencies view us as stable and positive. Our rule of law is strong and constantly improving. Any business disputes are settled fairly without any government interference. In a major accomplishment 2 weeks ago, the World Bank released its comprehensive new report on governance, and we topped the charts. Since 2012, Georgia jumped 13 places in regulatory quality, 16 places in the voice of and accountability category, 19 places in rule of law, 22 places in political stability and government efficiency, and 23 places in control of corruption. Of particular importance, Georgia sits in the middle of a vast free trade network. We have free trade agreements with the European Union that we signed last year. We have free trade with Turkey and Russia and the rest of the former Soviet states. And we're currently negotiating new free trade agreements with the United States and China. In fact, I just returned from China, and we may soon become one of the only European nations with a free trade agreement with China. The revitalization of the ancient Silk Road makes Georgia's position at the center of European-Asia trade increasingly important. Transit networks running through Georgia can bring goods from China to Europe much faster than sea routes. And Georgia's free trade links allow it to be a major tariff-free regional distribution point. So I want to put it simply, I've said this many times, I want to repeat, that investing in Georgia is as safe as investing in any country in Europe. Except, of course, your costs and taxes will be much lower. There will be much fewer regulatory burdens, and your returns will be much higher. You will hear all about the specific investment opportunities today. So let me close by highlighting some recent investments in Georgia by our Silk Road neighbors that underscores the opportunities that exist here in Georgia. Hualink Group, one of the top Chinese investors in Georgia, entered the market several years ago, and since then investments were made in many different economic sectors, including construction and finances. Today, the total volume of Hualink's investments exceeds $500 million US. And Hualink is a perfect example of successful partnership. In addition, India's Tata Power, Tata Group, Norway's Clean Energy Invest, and the IFC just invested $400 million US in the Ajariskali hydropower station project. And similarly, Korean Water Resources and the Georgian State Partnership will invest $1 billion US in the construction of the Nenskra hydropower plant project. From Japan, Toyota Caucasus and Central Asia has their regional office and distribution hub in Georgia. From the United Arab Emirates, both the Dabe Group and Rakia have made substantial investments in hotels, real estate development, and other projects. Several hundreds of millions of dollars were invested by these groups. So many investments by our Silk Road neighbors support Georgia's booming tourism industry. And that is where many visitors come from. The inflow of international visitors over the last 11 years increased 18-fold, from 310,000 in 2003 to 5,500,000 in 2014. Last year was the second consecutive year during which the inflow of international visitors exceeded Georgia's population. And like these initiatives, I sincerely hope that today's event will pave the way for further cooperation between our countries. And of course, it will deepen your interest towards Georgia. You have my personal assurance that the government of Georgia will show full support in terms of starting and operating business in Georgia to you, your partners, and any foreign investor. So let me end where I began. I'm really excited that you're here. I want to thank you again for your participation. Georgia is a stable, strong, and open nation. And I believe by working together, we will achieve strong economic success. Thank you.